Are we going to see Terence Crawford versus Canelo?
As I tell before to the ESPN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will...
Turkey Alvarez proposed a highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, creating major buzz in the boxing world. Expected to take place in Saudi Arabia, the bout would be a major event in 2025. Crawford's recent win over Madrimov at 154 pounds raised questions about his ability to move up in weight to face Canelo. The fight was competitive, and some believe Crawford's win was positioned to set up a future clash with Canelo. In his post-fight interview, Crawford expressed interest in the matchup, saying it could happen if the financial terms are right.
Canelo Alvarez, the fight you want next?
Well, you know what I say. If the money's right.
Crawford downplayed the significance of the Canelo fight, saying it held limited personal importance since Canelo had the physical attributes to compete comfortably at a higher weight class. His dismissive tone wasn't disrespectful but reflected his confidence and focus on long-term goals. Crawford stated, "Not at all. I'm pretty sure he could fight at 168. This guy is big. In the minors, he fought at a higher weight than he is now and was very competitive. The Canelo fight isn't that important to me, it's just another milestone to fame, I suppose." Financially, Canelo is next scheduled to face unbeaten Puerto Rican Edgar Berlanga on September 14th. If he successfully defends his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles, a Crawford-Canelo clash could happen early next year. Turkey Alvarez agrees on the fight's appeal and said, "I gave Alvarez an offer. If he's smart, he'll accept it." If Canelo declines, Alvarez insists Virgil Ortiz will be next in line, stating, "If they accept, we want to see this fight." Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, felt Crawford's bout with Madrimov was too close and didn't convince people that Crawford could handle a much heavier Canelo. Garcia suggested a fight with Ortiz might be better, saying Crawford's performance didn't show he could do well against Canelo. Reflecting on his fight with Madrimov, Crawford acknowledged the weight jump and praised Israel Madrimov's strength, saying, "He's real strong and durable. He took a lot of good shots and took me to round 12. Crawford also credited his team for preparing him to face such a high-caliber opponent in his 154 debut. However, Madrimov's promoter Eddie Hearn was displeased with the outcome, believing Madrimov did enough to retain his title and that Crawford's showing wasn't decisive enough to warrant the win as the challenger. Hearn praised Madrimov's strong showing against a pound-for-pound great like Crawford.
In the event, obviously, heard what I said. I would say as well, I didn't realise there was two 115, 113s, one 116, 112. I thought there was two 116, 112s. I thought Israel Madrimov did enough to edge it tonight. I know there's always the argument of dethroning the champion, whether you think that's a thing or not. You know, I'm not sure I felt that Bud Crawford dethroned Israel Madrimov tonight, but what we are is extremely proud of him. 10 fights in, and we're debating whether he won a fight against the pound-for-pound number one. Experience would have changed everything. Maybe a little bit more work rate, but it was a fight that we believe we could have edged. Respect to Terence Crawford, he's a great champion. It's nothing against him, but I was just disappointed that especially one of the judges gave Crawford the last 4 rounds. The other 2 judges gave Crawford 3 of the last 4 rounds. And
Madrimov's trainer, Joel Diaz, defended his fighter's performance, believing Madrimov deserved at least a draw. He remains confident in Madrimov's skills and is committed to helping him improve for future challenges.
And like I told you, I'm going to repeat it one more time. A draw would have been a win for us, so at least he could keep his title, because he did enough. Okay, let's put it this way. He did enough to walk away with a draw.
Crawford dismissed Eddie Hearn's claims as a weak attempt to cover up his fighter's flaws. He stated that Madrimov lost due to poor technique and lack of proper planning. Crawford stood by his team, emphasizing their diligent preparation and effective execution, believing the result accurately reflected the difference in skill levels.
You gotta understand, that's his fighter. You know, he's gonna say anything that he can to hype it up. You know, he knows that guy lost, and so do his team.
Eddie Hearn also stated that Crawford can't fight Canelo at 168, and it's not just because of the weight difference. According to him, Crawford should stay at 154 and take on other big names in the division. Eddie said, "Crawford can't fight at 168. The trouble he had against Madrimov wasn't just about size, it was also about movement. Canelo would mow through him. Madrimov was satisfied with his performance and believed he did enough to win. He said the bout with Crawford wasn't his toughest and agreed with Eddie Hearn about the fight's outcome.
I felt good. I felt proud of myself, and I think I did enough, like Eddie said. You know, Spence is really good. He's pound for pound best. He's one of the best in the world. He's not an easy fight. You know, he knocked out the last 10 opponents he fought, Spence and others, you know, the best in the world. I didn't feel like it was my toughest fight. You know, there were some questions about how easy I won my world championship belt in my previous fight. And I think in this fight, I just proved why I was easy then and why I'm a champion and why I deserve to.
Madrimov felt he showed enough in the ring to earn a rematch with Crawford. He said, "I faced the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and I think I did enough. I'm a champion defending my belt. I controlled the rhythm and felt very comfortable in the ring. I believe I performed well and at least deserved a rematch. If His Excellency Turki Alashik can make it happen, then let's go." As for what the pros had to say, opinions were split on Crawford's performance, with many doubting his ability to face a much bigger Canelo Alvarez. Ryan Garcia openly criticized the result and urged Canelo to knock Crawford out if they ever met in the ring. He said, "Canelo could do this guy for fun." Ryan also questioned Crawford's #1 pound-for-pound status, saying, "It doesn't look like this man has 11 fights." He didn't stop there, going as far as insulting Crawford and claiming Canelo would beat him badly.
Crawford is trash. Don't ever compare Crawford to Canelo again. Shout out young Triple G. He did his I felt he won. At least a draw. The judges, you weirdos, you guys suck at. And Crawford, you're not pound for pound. Suck it. You never fought nobody good. You fought Spence that had a car accident.
Christine Lopez, coach of the USA boxing team, distanced herself from the criticism aimed at Crawford, emphasizing that his victory was all that mattered. She said, "I'm muting all Bud hate, because at this point, that's all it is. Congrats, Bud. Beautiful job against a worthy opponent." Jamal Herring highlighted the tactical nature of the bout and pointed to the championship rounds where Crawford elevated his performance, saying, "That was definitely a technical chess match. I think Bud turned it up coming down the stretch in the title rounds." Devin Haney praised Crawford's overall performance and also picked Bud as the winner in a potential clash against Canelo Alvarez.
This match must put up a good fight, right? My bad, so I'm blocking you up. Yeah, amazing. Crawford, look at 150 right there. Right there, let him understand. Crawford, the weight is showing, but Crawford is Crawford. He's handling the weight well in, for sure. Just based on what you're seeing right now, if he was in there with Canelo, that would be 2 more weights up. Depending on where he comes in, like 160, 160. Crawford. Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, Devin, would you be surprised?
Isaiah Thomas believed the weight jump didn't suit Crawford and advised him to stay at 154, saying, "Bud should stay at 154, don't fight Canelo. I don't think the weight carried well." Lou DiBella echoed the same sentiment after watching Crawford's performance against Madrimov. He posted, "Bud boxed like Bud and won, but I think he had less snap on his punches at 154, there wasn't much power. That might be why Madrimov got too much credit, along with the frustration caused by his bouncy, herky-jerky style." 168. No, not now. Mario Lopez also felt Crawford shouldn't be calling out Canelo after a performance like that.
I think he's in trouble when he fights Canelo, I'll tell you right now. No. After that, I don't think so. Hey, Madrimov's a badass dude, though. He's a badass dude. The whole night was great, though.
Crawford versus Canelo features 2 of the best boxers in the world and stands as the most anticipated matchup in the sport today. While Crawford is eager for the bout, Canelo has previously downplayed the idea due to Crawford's smaller weight class, a factor that was somewhat evident in his fight against Madrimov. Still, the Mexican superstar has hinted he may reconsider if the financial offer is strong enough, and His Excellency Turki Alashik certainly has the resources to make the fight happen. If the bout materializes, Crawford's trainer Brian McIntyre believes it could be dangerous for Canelo, especially if Crawford faces him right after the Madrimov fight. He said Crawford would be in rhythm and groove, something that could spell trouble. Former opponent Errol Spence Jr. also weighed in, saying, "If Terence wants to be great, let him be." While he didn't predict a winner, he admitted he'd definitely choose Crawford.
It could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo.
You got Crawford over Bud? I mean, you got Crawford over Canelo? Sorry.
I'll be going for him. Be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah. You know,
Commentator Tim Bradley believes Terence Crawford will come out victorious against undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. Bradley thinks Crawford can outbox Canelo the same way Floyd Mayweather Jr. did back in 2013, when he beat the then 22-year-old Canelo at a catchweight. Reacting to Canelo's apparent lack of interest in the fight, Bradley brought up Gervonta Davis, who came in at 154 and survived against Canelo. He said, "This is the problem. He fought Jermall Charlo, who came up from 154. Charlo just moved up a few weight classes to fight Canelo, got in the ring, and laid an egg. He just survived." Bradley emphasized that while he's not saying Crawford is on Canelo's level physically, the difference lies in mentality. Crawford is a top pound-for-pound guy, he stated. Bradley believes Crawford will survive and compete well against Canelo, calling him the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world today. Charlo was never a top pound-for-pound guy. Crawford is different. He's a competitor, and he's been chasing Canelo. I think he'll do well against him. I really do. However, Carlos Adams, who has sparred with Crawford, disagrees. He believes Terence shouldn't fight Canelo right now, citing Canelo's punching power as a serious risk to Crawford's future in the sport.
Pienso que sería que subir 3 divisiones bastante libre, demasiada yo diría. Pienso que no es algo que él lo necesita ahora mismo. Crawford en su carrera ha demostrado que es un buen peleador, pero pienso que no tiene que estar corriendo esos grandes riesgos, porque no solamente pone su carrera en riesgo, también pone su vida, porque un golpe de Canelo le puede hacer daño de por vida.
I don't think Crawford needs the Canelo fight right now. I think it's kind of needless for Crawford because his reputation is well cemented, and a punch by Canelo could not only be dangerous for him to lose the fight, but it could be dangerous for his life. So no need for Crawford to cross the line into such a heavyweight class.
Caleb Plant said that Crawford has a different style compared to Canelo, which could make their matchup exciting to watch. He added that a star like Crawford can't be overlooked.
Based on what you saw tonight, and I know that's a very reactionary thing, but do you think Bud showed enough to actually convince the fans and the people back in that fight that it should happen?
You know, I think he's been out for a year, so maybe there was some ring rust as well. And also, styles make fights. That guy's got a bit of a difference. He's got some attributes that Canelo has, his explosiveness, his power, but he still has a different style than Canelo. So styles make fights. I feel like if Terence could get a little more busy, a little more active, you know, it could do him better. And at that point, I really wouldn't put anything past Terence. He's a special man. And, you know, thus far, when he puts his mind...
Crawford's training partner and 3-weight world champion Shakur Stevenson believes Crawford has the power to hurt Canelo and will come out victorious if they face each other. He said, "I've been with him for a long time. I think Terence has a better IQ than Canelo and can hurt him. I stand on that. Crawford beats Canelo." Stevenson emphasized that his opinion is based on first-hand experience, having spent time in training camps with Crawford. "I've seen him hurt big guys. I've seen him hit bigger fighters and make their legs go shaky. I just don't agree with the idea that Bud can't hurt Canelo or doesn't have enough to keep him off. I think Bud has the better IQ, he's strong, and I believe he can beat Canelo Alvarez. That's just my view, and until someone proves otherwise, I believe what I believe." Jose Benavidez also backed Crawford, saying he believes Terence can beat Canelo, noting that in boxing, outcomes often depend on a fighter's approach.
I feel like anybody's beatable. You know, Crawford's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a smart fighter. He's undefeated, right? He's beat the best of the best. So, I mean, I feel like he'll beat him. I mean, if everyone puts their mind to it and they train how they're supposed to train, which I know he is, I mean, anything's possible because Crawford is, I mean, Canelo's not bigger than him. I mean, weight-wise he is, but height-wise, they're about the same height. So, I mean, boxing, anything's possible. Just how you choose your...
Sparring partner Kyrone Davis, who has shared the ring with both fighters, believes size will play a major role in a potential Crawford versus Canelo bout. He acknowledged that Terence is a great fighter with elite skills, but pointed out that Canelo possesses both skill and size, an advantage he sees as significant. Davis stated that it would be very difficult for Crawford to beat Canelo, saying, "Canelo is bigger, and that's a big edge. Crawford would have to fight the perfect fight." He added that it would be tough for Crawford to inflict real damage on Canelo, who is known for his granite chin, even at light heavyweight. It'll be a lot harder to damage Canelo, and Canelo's punches will be way more effective than Crawford's if they fight at 168. It's not impossible, but But it will be hard, Davis said. Meanwhile, legendary commentator Jim Lampley expressed strong belief in Crawford's abilities, saying, "There's nothing Terence can't do. We can't tell him what he can or should do. He's the most stubborn guy I've ever seen, and he's capable of anything."
Do anything. There's no. If Terence Crawford told me I'm going to become a light heavyweight and I'm going to fight David Benavidez, I would say Terence knows better than I do what he can do. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any logical sense. So at the end of the day, we can speculate all we want about what he can do or what he should do. But nobody's going to decide this other than Terence Crawford. He is willful, he is stubborn, he is self-possessed, he is possessed of enormous self-belief. He is as confident as any person I've ever met. If I tell Terence Crawford, you can't drive your Ferrari from this intersection to the next one, he's going to get into the Ferrari and prove to me that I'm wrong. So I look forward to seeing whether Terence can prove everybody wrong about what he can or should do. And I also look forward to finding out whether Canelo Alvarez wants that fight.
Alexander Usyk is confident in his friend Terence Crawford and believes he would beat Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's intelligence and versatility, saying, "I like Terence. He's my friend, but he's a crazy man. I say Terence wins. He's smart and different. He fights from both stances, southpaw and orthodox, and he's a very smart man who understands distance and space." When asked about the role weight difference could play in the fight, Usyk acknowledged Canelo's size and skill but remained firm. "Canelo is big, yeah, and he's a good boxer, but I say Terence. Terence can box like a big guy." Meanwhile, former world champion Amir Khan advised Crawford not to take the fight with Canelo. He noted that both fighters are brilliant in their own ways but recalled facing both. Khan said, "Canelo knocked me out brutally when I was at the peak of my career. Crawford is a specialist. He makes you miss and counters well, but I fought Crawford past my prime, and I was doing really well when I faced Canelo. I was probably winning the fight until that one big punch. Canelo caught me with it and finished the fight." Khan added, "I don't think Crawford should take that fight. He doesn't need it." Jeff Mayweather also weighed in, agreeing that weight would play a major role if the fight ever happens.
Two weight classes in what's the name being I think he could still have some problems with Crawford, but still that weight is something to deal with. You can't just say that because of Crawford's skills, he can automatically go up to 168 pounds and be the guy that's been doing this for a long time and also been one of the best fighters in the world for a long time. So that's a big jump.
Despite Alvarez being comfortable at 168 pounds and Crawford only recently moving up from 147 to 154 for the Madrimov fight, Kean Davis believes Crawford's skills could be enough to secure a stunning knockout against Canelo. He stated, "It's obvious Alvarez has the size advantage, but size doesn't mean everything. You've got to bring more to the table than just size, power, or speed. You need a lot of things in a fight." Davis added, "I think he can knock out Canelo, yes, for sure. And if he does that, it's going to be crazy. If he knocks out this guy coming up, that's going to be insane." Madrimov is a young, hungry lion. Daniel Jacobs, who lost to Canelo by unanimous decision in May 2019, believes the potential bout would be a stern test for Crawford, who has shown interest in moving all the way up to 168 pounds to fight Alvarez. Jacobs gives Crawford a legitimate chance, stating, "Skills sometimes pay the bills, and we know for sure Crawford has the skills over Canelo." However, he added, sometimes power, weight, and experience may factor in. It'll be a good test for Crawford, but I think the fans are the real winners in that fight. Bernard Hopkins, on the other hand, voiced concern over Crawford taking the fight, questioning the decision and emphasizing Crawford's well-being. He asked what real benefit Crawford would gain from facing Canelo.
Life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo, fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic. It makes sense. And
Bernard Hopkins further expressed serious reservations about Crawford's decision to pursue a fight with Canelo, calling it a risky move and questioning the logic behind it. As someone who's been in the ring and understands the physical toll it takes, I worry about Crawford's well-being in a matchup against someone like Canelo, Hopkins said. What benefit does this fight hold for Crawford? There are plenty of other viable matchups that don't carry the same level of risk. On the other hand, legendary trainer Teddy Atlas believes Crawford possesses a unique ability to see things in slow motion during fights, making his timing exceptional. He said, Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring and see things nobody else can. That's what makes his timing so special. Because of that, I can't count him out of anything. Boxing coach Virgil Hunter pointed to the ambiguity surrounding the matchup as its main appeal. It's an intriguing fight that would pique the interest of fans. You've got people who believe Terence can win and people who believe Canelo will win. That's what makes it so interesting, he said. If we go by basics and history, you say the bigger guy, Canelo, wins. But with Terence, we're talking about an exceptional fighter. You can't count him out. Evander Holyfield, however, believes it would be very difficult for Crawford to beat Canelo, primarily because of the weight jump required. It's going to be hard for him to beat Canelo, Holyfield stated. He's real basic, but he's a good fighter. Mike Tyson also weighed in, saying that more needs to be seen from Crawford at 154 before determining if he's ready to challenge someone like Canelo at 168.
That made him a good point.
Well, he's a great all-around fighter. He's been around and watching for years, and he's going to do well.
Mike, is he great enough to move up 2 more divisions to fight Canelo at 168?
So, how did you feel about Crawford's performance against Madrimov? Do you think he's truly ready to take on a challenge like Canelo, or is that leap just too much right now? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out more of our content on the screen right now.